Oil prices this low since last October. Oil plunging below $90 a barrel on new worries about Europe's mess that it will slow down the global economy. Prices down more than 14% just this month. Now, my next guest says, let's keep the slide going and boost the economy at the same time. Build that Keystone Pipeline. Ed Butowski is one of those who's worrying about what's going on here. Right. Yeah. So are you saying, oh, great news for motorists. We got that.
That's
Gas
right.
prices way down, oil prices way down. But you're saying it's a sign of a weak economy? That's why we're not using so much oil? That's it?
Well, let's remember, it went up based on the idea that the prices were going to get higher with the idea that we're going to have a strong economy.
Sure.
Now what happened? The spigot turned off. Things are starting to get really slow. Oil prices have dropped. It's going to continue.
It's an indicator? An indicator for our economy?
That's exactly what it is. I mean, it's a they trade on the futures. It's the expected price in the future. Prices are going lower. I fully expect this to drop down somewhere in the low 80s, if not in the high 70s.
It's not those nasty speculators who are bringing it down.
Isn't that amazing? You don't
Yes,
hear anyone
is.
complaining now, do you?
No, you do not.
Right.
Now, the Keystone Pipeline.
Right.
You think there's less of a chance of it being built if oil prices are down?
Well, there's less discussion.
Yes,
right?
there is.
And let's be real about this. I mean, oil prices go up and down not just based on the Keystone Pipeline. If we start drilling on federal land, if we start drilling on offshore, we'll see prices go down. That'll have a much greater impact than the Keystone Pipeline.
You say, okay, federal lands, because we're not doing much drilling on federal lands at the moment.
Not
the
at all.
president won't allow it.
No, the president talks about how there's so much more drilling going on, but none of it's going on federal land, or really very little.
Do you think that if the president came out tomorrow, just suppose, dream with me for a second, that he comes out and he says, yep, I like those federal lands, well, I know there's oil there, we're going to drill for it. You think the price of oil would drop immediately, right after he makes that announcement?
Well, he'll take credit for that, all right? But at the same time, do I think prices will go down? Yes. This is a global commodity. It's not just a Keystone Pipeline or United States commodity. It is a global commodity. We're the biggest user, we know that. But these prices are going down because the world believes the world economy is getting slower, and it is, and it's going to continue to. Fully expect oil prices to drop much more from here.
What did you say, $70 or $80 a barrel?
I think we're going to see it back up into the high 70s, low 80s, and don't be surprised if it goes even further than that.
Now, gas today, the national average for regular is $3.67 a gallon. If you get oil coming down another $10, say, if it did, you'd have gasoline down at around, what, $3.30? $3.30. National average, something like that?
It usually takes about 2 weeks for the oil prices to be reflected in gas prices.
You think that's going to happen? You do, don't you?
Without question. Have I ever been wrong?
But that, let's not get into that.
Okay.
But that would be a huge plus for America and the spending power of everybody in America who drives.
Well, on one hand, that is true. But there's other reasons why people should be concerned about rising costs throughout the country and throughout the world, inflationary pressures. But in that one particular area, especially during the drive time, which we're about to start seeing a lot of people during this time period, this is a real positive. It's unfortunate because there's stock prices that are dropping along with the world, with oil prices at this moment.
So the primary thing that's going on, you think, is a real slowdown in the global economy. China, Europe, America, and places in between.
Everywhere.
That's what's going on.
Every place is slowing down. The world economy is slowing. Look at China's GDP went from 8.9 down, where it is now. The world economy is slowing. That's why oil prices are dropping, because the world believes that we're entering into a global recession, which we are.
There's quite an out cue there, Butowski.
But it is.
All right, all right, we hear it. Thanks very much, Ed Butowski.